12 days left to stop the Obama-Clinton machine, and Wikileaks has dropped a major bombshell that could dramatically change this race. A newly released email details how Bill Clinton used his family foundation to line his own pockets with tens and tens of millions of dollars. With all the details tonight is Fox's own Ed Henry. Pretty big blockbuster tonight, Ed.
It really is, Sean, and it follows the fact that Fox News first broke the story that Hillary Clinton herself had solicited a $12 million donation for the Clinton Foundation from the King of Morocco, and Huma Abedin suggested in an email that it was pay to play by bluntly declaring the money was given on the condition that Clinton had to go to Morocco to host a foundation event and give a speech. She later backed out, but Bill and Chelsea Clinton went in her place. The New York Times finally today following up on that story a week later. But as you say, more damaging emails from former Clinton intimate Doug Band. He lays out how Bill Clinton lined his own pockets by steering donors for the Clinton Foundation to hire him for speeches and consulting. Look at this 2011 memo revealing the plan, quote, yielded more than $30 million for him personally, with $66 million to be paid out in years ahead. Another incredible revelation we learned today, even the top two officials in Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign were kept in the dark on the full extent of her email scandal by either the candidate herself or others in the inner circle. When the story first broke in the New York Times, campaign chair John Podesta wrote to Robbie Mook, quote, "Did you have any idea of the depth of this story?" Mook, the campaign's manager, responded, "Nope. We brought up the existence of emails in research this summer, but we're told that everything was taken care of." That came as the New York Times posted its very first story, March 2nd, 2015. All about Clinton's use of a personal email account as Secretary of State, a dramatic sign that the potential next commander-in-chief shares critical information with only a couple of trusted advisors like Abedin. All of this secretiveness, that was too much for liberal activist Neera Tanden. She wrote to John Podesta about the email scandal in the summer of 2015, quote, "It's like the whole thing is bleeping insane." And that honest admission comes at the same time, remember, Clinton herself and her aides in the summer of 2015 kept telling us this is not a big deal, there's nothing to see here, move on. Even Neera Tanden, one of her top advisors, was saying it was insane, Sean.
Yeah, and by the way, we got to remember your question. You said, did you have your server wiped clean? And she goes, Ed, you mean like with a cloth?
Yeah.
Well, we now know it was bleach bit and acid wash.
Thousands of emails.
But I wanted to go, this whole thing is bleeping insane. The one individual you quoted as saying, also,
yeah,
I was told everything was taken care of. Being taken
right.
care of kind of fits into the bleach bit narrative that they wiped it out, that they eliminated it and got rid of the problem. Isn't that almost an admission, potentially, of guilt? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, weren't those emails all subpoenaed by that point?
Well, they were subpoenaed right after that point, we should say. So Robbie Mook, the campaign manager, having this conversation as the New York Times broke the story March 2nd. Trey Gowdy issued the subpoena, I believe, 2 days later, March 4th, 2015. So, yes, it's happening all in the same time period, but maybe he was referring to the idea that he went to Hillary Clinton, what's going on with the emails, and she said, oh, everything's fine, or maybe Huma Abedin said that. We simply don't know. Did they suggest they deleted them? We don't know. Did they suggest that maybe, look, there's nothing to see here, it's not a big deal, Robbie, just don't worry about it, and then he moved on to other issues. It shows you, though, that Hillary Clinton wasn't just dodging the press. She was maybe dodging her own campaign manager. When someone does that, it suggests they have something to hide.
You know, there's also some internal infighting here. Longtime Clinton aide, the head of the Clinton Foundation, this guy Doug Band, he's responding to Chelsea Clinton's suggestion that they were making money off their proximity to Bill Clinton. He writes a pretty fierce email back. Now, we're talking about $116 million that he's lined up on the books for the Clintons. That's a lot of money.
Sure, you're not going to believe these details. Chelsea Clinton, I think, was the good actor in all this.
I agree.
When you look at the facts, because, right, she was blowing the whistle and saying, look, there's problems with this foundation. What's significant, number one, is they keep saying at the foundation, it's conservative critics beating up on the foundation. Chelsea Clinton was saying there were problems there. That's significant, number one. Number two, she brought in an independent law firm to do an audit that suggested donors expect a quid pro quo. That's what the law firm found. Again, not conservative critics. And finally, the details of this, Doug Band, Chelsea Clinton went after him and said, look, I'm hearing speculation that Doug Band is trading on my father's name, Bill Clinton's name, for Teneo, his consulting company. Doug Band denies that, says he didn't make any money off of Bill Clinton on Teneo. We'll leave that aside for a second. The bottom line is Doug Band fired back with the memo you mentioned about all the money, and he had another email we've gone through where Doug Band said Bill Clinton is being paid by 3 different sponsors of the Clinton Foundation, so he's the one with conflicts of interest, and he said Bill Clinton has taken big personal gifts that are now in the Clinton home, either in Chappaqua or Washington, and the home, by the way, of Hillary Clinton, the potential next president. That's a big story.
And he's mad he didn't get a cut of that. He complained back. All right. Ed Henry, thanks so much for being with us.